5 and 9 are corresponding angles. What about 6 and 12? Alternate exterior. Five and 7. 5 and 7. Look at those two. They're opposite each other. 5 and 7. They're vertical angles. You see that? And then we have 8 and 9, consecutive interior. If you write same side interior, I'll give you credit. Same thing. Consecutive interior angles. All good on this? All right, do you guys have this next, or do you have that other thing next?
The other.
All right, put an X through that. All right, so number 9. They want us to say whether we have parallel, perpendicular, or skew. So let's look at VM, which is here, and NT, which is there. What is that? Are you guys hot?
Yeah.
No? Oh, yeah, they are perpendicular. Alright, so number 9 is per. Alright, and then it says RQ and VW. That is skew. They're not touching, they're not parallel. Next we have SX and TS. They're touching. Yep, perpendicular. Alright, hold on a second. Force to stop working. Alright, so for this one we decided that angle X and that angle, they're both consecutive interior, so they both equal 180 degrees. Did you guys already solve this? What'd you guys get for X?
55.
What'd you get? 55? Alright, let's see. 3x plus 15 equals 180. 3x equals 65. X equals 5. Carry the 1. 55. Good job. X equals 55. Did anyone not get 55? Make sure that you are combining like terms before you start moving things. Combine that 1x and the 2x. All right, number 14. If I want to highlight my interior, there we go. So what's my angle relationship between 100 and x plus 21x? Huh? Did you say complementary? Corresponding? Alternate exterior. So going to be equal to a 180 or equal to each other? Each other. They're both obtuse angles. So I have, is that x squared on your paper?
Yeah.
Oh. Change it to a plain X. I don't know what that does to your answer, but it may give you a decimal. We haven't learned how to do that yet. So X plus 21X is equal to 100. Actually, change it to 4X. get 25x is equal to 100. Divide by 25, divide by 25. What does x equal? X equals 4. So erase the squared part and just put a 4x. So x equals 4. Any questions on that one? All right, solve for x and for y. One of these is easy. Which one is it? What should we solve for first? The x, right? My angle relationship here is consecutive interior, so they're both equal to what? 180. So x plus 112 is equal to 180. You want to writing this? If I subtract 112 from each side, what do I get?
68.
So x equals 68. So if x is 68, what's y?
63.
How do we know y is 68? They're vertical angles. They are equal. All right, number 16. What's my angle relationship here? Here's my interior. Alternate interior, so they're going to be equal to what? 180? Each other. They're congruent angles. The only one that's equal to 180, Q1, is consecutive interior. Unless, huh? No, consecutive interior is when it's on the inside. The same side, just like the one we just did. 15.
Okay, now.
In a linear pair. You what?
I can do one, two, one.
Yeah, it's only when you have like these two, that would be equal to 180. Everything else is going to be equal to each other. Besides a linear pair. You know linear pair is side by side, so it has to be 180. All right, how do I solve this? Minus 14. Guys, this part of your test is so important because it is normally the dagger. If you get this section right, you normally do very well. If you get this section wrong, you don't do very well. These are worth like 4 points. Well, these two are worth 2 each, but it'll have to be 4 on your test. All right, 70 minus 14. Divide by 4. So y is equal to 14. Any questions here? All right, moving on. All right, true or false? Skew lines are non-coplanar.
Sure.
It's true. They're not on the same plane.
No.
If they are, then they would be parallel. If two lines are cut by a transversal so that the same side interior angles are complementary, then the lines are parallel. So if two lines are cut by a transversal so that the same side interior angles are complementary, should they be complementary?
No.
No, they should be what?
So,
All right, pay attention to that one. So that one's false.
8.
All right, 19, if two lines intersect to form a linear pair of congruent angles, so let's say 1 and 2, a linear pair of congruent angles, then the lines are parallel. Two lines intersect. This is false. Doesn't even make any sense. They wouldn't be congruent angles. All right, in a plane, if two lanes are parallel to the third line, Then the lines are parallel to each other. This is true. Parallel is parallel. I do not. Any questions on this? All right. This says, how do we prove that these lines are parallel? So let's look at these two angles. 115. This angle is 115. That angle is 115. What's the angle relationship? Oh, we have to go over this. No, let's skip this one. Put an X over it. Put an X on 22 as well. All right, 23. Calculate the slope of a line that passes through the points 4, -1 and 5, -5, 2. How do we do this? What's our slope formula? So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, what's my y2? So 2 minus -1 divided by -5 minus 4. What's 2 minus -1? Which is basically 2 plus 1, 3. And what about -5 over -4? -9. Is this my final answer? No. In your calculator, do math, enter, what do you get?
1.
So your slope is -1/3. Go ahead and reduce it. If you type this into your calculator, make sure you put the whole top in parentheses, the whole bottom in parentheses. If not, then it'll mess up your answer. The slope of line AB is -3/4. If point A is -6.5 and point B is -3y, what is the value of y? All right, we're working backwards here. So we have m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's fill in what we know. What's my n? They already gave us our n, right? So -3 over 4. And we're going to fill in what we know. So I have y2. We don't know what y2 is. Minus y1, which is 5. x2, which is -3, minus -6. If I were you, I would cross multiply here. It makes it easy. So if we write this out, we're going to cross multiply this. So we have -3 times -3. If I put +6, you guys understand why I put +6? Okay, this becomes a plus. All right, and then equals 4 times y2 minus 5. All I did was just rewrite it. I cross multiplied and I rewrote it. So far, so good? On the left side, I can combine like terms, right? Inside the parentheses, what's -3 plus 6? Did you pay attention? 3. So -3 times 3 is what? So we have -9 is equal to, what's 4 times y2? Just basically 4y2. And then what's 4 times -5? -20. All I'm doing is distributing. I want to get y2 by itself, right? How do I do that? Plus 20 to each side. That cancels out. What's -9 plus 20? So we have 11 equals 4y
divided by 4.
divided by 4 divided by 4. So what does y equal?
2.75.
11 over 4, or what was it?
3.75.
I don't know why they gave you a decimal, but alright, so let's see here. What is the value of y? 11 over 4. I'll try to give you a clean number on your test. So it's not a difficult fraction. All we did was just plug in. Alright, moving on. Alright, write an equation of a line that is perpendicular to y equals negative 3/4 x plus 5. What is my slope in y equals negative 3/4? What's my slope here? Negative 3 over 4. But they need it perpendicular, so what should my perpendicular slope be? What'd you say? Well, we have to flip it, right? Flip it and take the opposite side. So it's just 4 over 3. Does that make sense? Alright, and so here's my formula, or sorry, that's my new slope. It goes through this point. So I have y equals mx plus b. Your y is going to be 8 equals 4/3 times 2 plus b. What's 4/3 times 2? Guys, please pay attention. This test is hard. 8 over 3 plus b. How do I get b by itself? Divide? Yep, let's subtract 8/3 from both sides. So someone tell me, what is 8 minus 8 over 3? Put your fraction in the parentheses. What is it? Did we all get 16 over 3? All right, so what is your equation now? Perfect. So all we did was we take our original y equals mx plus b, we plug in our new slope, which is here, we plug in our new b, which is down there. Any questions on this one? Exactly like your quiz you just took. All right. Don't overcomplicate this. Write an equation of a line that is parallel to the line y equals 5. Well, if it's y, what kind of line do we have? Is it vertical or horizontal? Horizontal, right? So I can pick anything I want. Y equals what? Huh? Some say 8. You can do 8. One year I had some kids say y equals 520 something. Doesn't matter. Your y, as long as it's just y equals a number, it doesn't matter. If you wrote x, that would mean it's perpendicular. Does that make sense? So pick any number you want. That's what y can equal. Don't overcomplicate that. All right, determine the slope of a line. What is the slope of the red line? We're going from this point to here. To here, I guess. So we're going down 1 over 2. Sorry, down 2 over 1. So the slope of AB is negative 2. We're going down 2 over 1. the slope of CD, we're going up. So if we're going up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, yes. So for the slope of the blue line, we're going up 1 over 2. Is this perpendicular, yes or no?
Yes.
Why?
Use switch that.
Yep, opposite reciprocal. Went from -2 to 1/2. If you try to eyeball this and say, well, it looks like it's perpendicular, so yes, you may get it wrong. So make sure you check the slope. All right, which graph matches the linear equation? Do I have it in y equals yet? Yep, let's get y by itself. So I have 4x plus 2y is equal to -8. How do I do that? So we have 2y is equal to minus 4x minus 8. I can't combine those two, right? They're not like terms. All right, now what? Divide by 2. Divide by 2. So y equals -2x minus 4. If I were you, I would just type that into my calculator. Type it into y equals and see which graph looks like it. But if you didn't want to do that, you could look at your graphs and say, well, my b is -4, so I have to start at -4. So that takes out d, that takes out a, because b starts at -4 and c starts at -4, or that's where it crosses the y-axis. My graph going up or down? It's going down to negative, so my answer is C without even doing any work, just from looking at it. Now I have to count this slope. I don't know why I forgot to delete this. You don't need that. Oh, do you guys have it on yours?
Yeah. And 32.
Yeah, okay, so you do need that. I just forgot to screenshot it on mine. Is it this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just did it wrong. Okay. So 32, which word best describes a pair of lines? Look at our slope. What's the slope of my first one? 1/5. The slope of this line I have to solve. So y equals -5x plus 6. What's my slope here? -5. So parallel, perpendicular, or neither?
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular. Opposite reciprocal. The rest of this is review. Okay, just like every other test, you have a review. Write the symbols for if it is cold, then it is not, or sorry, if it is not cold, then it is not January. So based off this right here, my hypothesis is it is January, it is cold, it's a conclusion. All right, so write the symbols. What will my symbols look like for if it is not cold?
Not Q.
Not Q.
Not Q.
Not P.
Not P. Okay, don't forget your squiggly line means not. So think about it. What does converse mean? It's opposite, so we have to change the order. So instead of P to Q, it's going to be Q to P. So what's my sentence? If it is cold, then it is January. All we did was switch my P and my Q. You will see that on your test. In the diagram below, T bisects XR, M bisects XT. So these two lines are congruent. If XR is 24,
Then each line is 12.
nope. Find the missing segments. Well, I know that this part right here is what? T by 6, the whole thing. So if the whole thing is 24, what's half of 24? This is 12, so that means this whole thing is 12. But it's in two different segments. So what is this little piece of xn? This is 6, so mt is 6. So let's fill in what we know. What's xn? What is tr?
12.
What is mr? 18. Last one. Midpoint. You should know our midpoint formula. What is it? You take your x's, you add them up. Divide by 2. What about your y's? Y's, you add them up, divide by 2. It doesn't matter which order you go as long as you're consistent. So, x1 is -2 plus 3 divided by 2. My y's, 3 plus -6 divided by 2. What's -2 plus 3?
1.
1 over 2. What's 3 plus -6? -3 over 2. Can I simplify those two fractions?
No.
Nope, that's my answer. That's my midpoint. 1/2 over -3 over 2. Look over this review. It is hard to come in on a Tuesday and take the test. So make sure you look this over. I'll be here after school on Monday. Your homework is the study guide at the back of your packet. I'll post which ones to do on Blackboard and I'll send you a remind message. Okay, I don't want you to do all of them. All right, go to lunch. Can someone turn the lights on, please? Yep, I will look over your class review again.